Pocket Neopets. It's like taking the website wherever you go.
So you can earn Neopoints with way cool games.
Like catch and racing. Now you can take Neopets anywhere!
Picture this. It's the late 90s, a time when the internet was still a mystical place filled with dial-up tones and GeoCities websites. The millennium was just around the corner. Y2K panic was everywhere, and kids were obsessed with everything virtual. Virtual pets, to be specific. We had our Tamagotchis dangling from our backpacks, Furbies whispering in the night. And let's be honest, feeding any living thing that wouldn't scream at us was a dream. But in 1999, a new virtual pet phenomenon hit the scene, combining our love for adorable creatures with the addictive nature of online games. Neopets. That's right. Today we're diving into the pixelated world of Neopia. From the wild days of obsessively collecting Neopoints to the inevitable moment that we all forgot to feed our pets for a solid decade. We're talking about the rise, the fall, and the nostalgia that still lingers. So, grab your fairy paint brushes, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and let's take a trip back to when the biggest question was, can I become a Neopoints millionaire? Spoiler? No, you couldn't, but it was fun trying. Neopets started as a simple idea in 1999 by two British university students, Adam Powell and Donna Williams. Adam saw the craze of Pokemon and thought it could be successful if similar model could be brought to the web space. Adam Powell is a Welsh computer programmer, game designer, and businessman. Donna Williams is responsible for the web design and art. Before work on the site, Adam had been working on ads for his father's water bottle business. Originally, the site was designed as a casual gaming space where people could play, chat, and bond over virtual pets. Think of it like a mix of an online arcade and a pet adoption center. But instead of real animals, you got colorful, fictional species like Kachiks, Aishas, and the almighty Grundo. These pets had needs, wants, and unlike Tamagotchis, they wouldn't die if you neglected them, which, let's face it, was a huge relief. Now, what really set Neopets apart was its depth. There were quests and an entire economy, and even a stock market. Suddenly, we weren't just feeding our pets. We were running businesses, investing in stocks, and trying to navigate the Neopian marketplace like tiny pixelated entrepreneurs. You could play games like Meerkat Chase. It's basically Snake, but cuter. Earn Neopoints, and then blow it all on rare items. It was like living out our future capitalist dreams, one Neopoint at a time. Initial users could select from 9 different Neopets, ranging from average house cats to bats to full-blown dragons. There were Nemos, the frog-like Neopets that were skilled at swimming, thinking, meditation, and martial arts. Scorchios are dragon-like Neopets that like to live in the hotter regions of Neopia. Jubjubs are round, fluffy Neopets that have 2 feet and no limb joints. They can roll and grip things with their powerful feet. Growls are Tyrannosaurus-like Neopets with a ferocious appetite and immense strength. Feeding it is the best way to earn its trust, kinda like me. Skeeths are another dragon-like Neopet with a thick, bulky body and big appetite, but they hate cheese. They're great at heavy lifting, but better at procrastinating. Another one kinda like me. Corbats are bat-like Neopets, which are friendly and outgoing with a keen sense of hearing. Lennies are flamingo-like Neopets that can actually fly when the time calls for it, and are brainiacs that love themselves a riddle. Walkies are cat-like Neopets, and they're bold and adventurous with a furry coat and super-smelling senses. Barousas are Neopets that hail from Terror Mountain. They love playing in snow and love playing ice games. Neopets wasn't just a game, it was a whole universe. Neopia, where each land had its own vibe and its own stories. You could travel to Fairyland, where you might get a quest from a fairy, or visit the creepy haunted woods for some darker adventures. There was even the Battle Dome, where your pets could fight other pets for honor and glory. Because what else would you do with your precious Shoiru except throw it into an arena and make it fight to the death? But let's not kid ourselves. Many of us spent more time obsessing with what color our pets would be than actually taking care of them. The holy grail was the fairy paintbrush, which turned our pets into flying, mystical versions of themselves. These things were rare, and if you managed to get one, you were basically the Jeff Bezos of Neopia.
What are my chances? Not good.
Meanwhile, half the pets in Neopia were probably starving because, admit it, you'd go weeks without logging in. Neopets didn't die, but the guilt was real when you came back and found them weak and hungry with the classic Neopets message, "Your pet is very hungry. He looks like he's going to faint." Real guilt trip there, Neopets. One of the most unique parts of Neopets was its economy. It wasn't just about feeding and dressing up your pets, you had to hustle. Games like Kachik-Seek, Pyramids, and Ice Cream Machine became daily habits, and that sweet, sweet rush of Neopoints kept us coming back for more.
I'll be back.
If you were really savvy, you'd try your luck with the Neopian stock market. Yeah, that's right. There was a full-fledged stock market on this site, and many of us, for the first time in our lives, found ourselves saying things like, I just need my stocks and Piofin gold medal flour to go up. Of course, the reality was, even after playing for hours, most of us barely had enough to buy a slice of omelet for our starving pets. Remember the omelet? That one that was just like sitting in Tyrannia? An endless supply of free omelet to feed your pet? Yeah, Tyrannia was like Neopets Costco. Grab your daily omelet, maybe get a few freebies, and hope for the best. That's how we lived, by the omelet.
Keep on smiling. Oh, shit! I said over easy!
The craze of Neopets left kids running to any place that had them getting their hands on more Neopets. Fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King gave out Neopets toys with Happy Meals, and there were plush galore of your favorite Neopets in toy stores. They even had a trading game that was released by the same people that did Pokemon TCG around the time, Wizards of the Coast. There was even a re-release of the trading card game this year. So go out there and relive your childhood one pack at a time. There was even the amazing Pocket Neopets that allowed you to play mini games while taking care of your Neopet, all on a sort of pocket-sized gaming device. The devices cost a not too shabby $14.99 at the time of its 2003 release, and it came in 8 different variants, from a Kachik in the Haunted Woods to a Bruce in Happy Valley on Terror Mountain. I personally had the Grundo and the Virtual Pet Space Station. Did you have a Pocket Neopet? What variant? Let us know down in the comments. So what happened? How did Neopets, this vibrant, thriving virtual world, start to lose its grip on our collective attention? Well, as with most things, the internet moved on. By the mid-2000s, social media platforms like Facebook and MySpace were heavily on the rise, and people were less interested in raising virtual pets, more interested in sharing their actual lives online. Neopets, despite its addictive charm, began to feel like old news. But that wasn't the only reason. In 2005, Viacom swooped in and bought Neopets. And As often happens with corporate takeovers, the changes they made weren't exactly great. Neopets went from being a cozy, quirky corner of the internet to a more commercialized product with ads everywhere.
You will never be rid of ads.
Hey, Leslie!
You're expelled.
They even introduced Neocash, a real money currency that you could use to buy special items for your pets. It was a cash grab, and while the site tried to stay relevant with new games, the magic of the early days was already fading. People logged off, and a lot of them never came back. The era of Viacom and Neopets lasted until 2014, when it was bought by the company Jumpstart. With Jumpstart, things started to go bad, with their biggest move firing all of the original staff and replacing them with a whole new staff.
You're fired.
New content slowed to a trickle, and the content that was coming out was less than savory at best. One time during an office move, employees had a little bit of fun with the Neopets sign that was hanging up, with one of the employees posting the photos on their Tumblr. Like the best of our favorite nostalgic items, Neopets fell victim to being part of a crypto scam. Just like the Pog NFT reboot that we discussed last week in our video on the rise and fall of Pogs. Check out that after this video if you haven't watched it yet. The crypto company tried to make a Neopet-like game that required buying tokens to play. The backlash from fans was severely against the project. Even one of the creators, Adam, was found in Discord chats to be speaking out directly against the NFTs, saying he wishes he never made Neopets, and even posted a photo of him flipping off the entirety of the Neopets fanbase. Believe it or not, Neopets is still online. Yep, 25 years later, you can log in, check on your pets, and even play some of the same games you played back in the day. But let's be real, it's a shell of its former self. The once thriving Neopia is now a quiet, glitchy space that only die-hard fans frequent. They even had a major security breach in 2022 that left personal info of over 69 million users at direct risk.
I declare bankruptcy!
That said, there's a bit of a cult following, and the rumors of Neopets' animated series are still floating around. Could Neopets make a comeback? Maybe, but even if it doesn't, it'll always have a special place in internet history. And for most of us, it was a gateway to the digital world. So go ahead, log back into your account, if you remember the password. Say hello to your starving Neopets, or, let them keep napping eternally. Well, that's it for today's episode of Retro Vault. Neopets were a wild ride from our childhood obsession with virtual pets to the economic hustle of trying to be a Neopian millionaire. Whether you were a fairy paintbrush addict or just there for the free omelets, Neopets carved out its place in internet history. But now, we want to hear from you. What forgotten toys, tech, or trends from the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s do you want to see next on Retro Vault? Drop your suggestions in the comments below, and who knows? Maybe we'll unearth your favorite forgotten thing next time. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more deep dives into the vault of the forgotten pop culture. And hey, don't forget to check on your Neopets. I know I probably won't.